So in this video for Hatshepsut, we'll be having a look at a concept called the Heiress Theory. And this is a theory been put forward by an historian called Donald Redford. And it's been put forward to try and explain why Hatshepsut felt that she could take control of Egypt and become the next king and join in that co-regency as she does with Thutmose III. So it's about why she felt that she could do that and legitimise her claim to the throne. So the basic sort of premise behind this theory is that the actual power behind the throne, or the legitimacy of the throne, comes from marriage to an Ahmosid heiress, or this Ahmosid queen who can trace her lineage back. So it's from the royal blood, from the queen that the king marries. I'm not suggesting that these queens felt that they should have been kings themselves, but that's where they legitimised their kingship through marriage to these royal heiresses who carried on this Ahmosid line. It's not about Hatshepsut being a king or feeling herself having that power necessarily, but it's about the concept that the heiress would come from the Ahmosid line. So let's trace it through and make sense of it. So we start with Hatshepsut I from the 17th dynasty, who married second Emperor II. So let's presume she is an heiress. She has this royal blood, the Ahmosid blood, that carries through. So she therefore passes it on to Ahmose-Nefertari, who is their daughter, second Emperor and Hatshepsut's daughter, and she therefore legitimizes King Ahmose's reign because she has married him. So through her royal blood marrying King Ahmose, he therefore, his reign is legitimized. If we move forward to Meritamen, okay, she is a progeny of Ahmose and Ahmose-Nefertari, so therefore she's carrying on that royal blood, and she legitimizes Amenhotep I's reign. Because he's married an heiress. We carry it forward. The next heiress is Queen Ahmose, who marries Thutmose I. Now this is interesting because he's not a member of the royal family. So his reign is legitimised by the fact that he's married someone from the Ahmosid line. So this heiress queen from the Ahmosid line. And we carry that forward here to Hatshepsut. So Hatshepsut has now taken on that royal blood too, from Ahmose to Hatshepsut. So therefore, if we think about it this way, Hatshepsut has legitimised Thutmose II's reign as well, because he has married an heiress. And then we go forward to the next step, and we have Neferure. So Hatshepsut and Thutmose II's daughter Neferure, through Hatshepsut, has that royal blood too. So she is a royal heiress, okay? But we don't have Thutmose II marrying her. The only person who says that is Gramal, who suggests that might have happened, but we have no evidence of it. So let's think about this. Thutmose I isn't from that royal family. He's from outside it. We think he's a general, but his reign is legitimised because he married Ahmose. Thutmose II's reign is legitimised because he married Hatshepsut, another heiress, okay? But Thutmose III's reign isn't legitimate, okay, because we don't have any evidence of him marrying an heiress. So that's where sort of Redford is arguing. That's what he's arguing here. So we put this theory onto Donald Redford. It has been around for quite a while, but we're going to use Redford when we put forward the Heiress Theory. We have to say that it's come from Donald Redford because he's an advocate for it. Okay, so let's put this. I'm just going to get rid of myself here so we can see it. He believes Hatshepsut's attainment of the throne represents the final attempt in the 18th dynasty to establish a strong matriarchate in Egypt. Okay, that's not matrilineal succession. That's different. So that's not the queen being a king and then passing that down. That's different. But a matriarchate. Okay, so power of a matriarch. That doesn't mean she's ruling. It means that there's a matriarch there. He cites the unusual importance of earlier queens in this period. So Tetisheri, Hatshepsut I, Ahmose-Nefertari, as evidence that this was coming forward, and suggests that the influences for such a matriarchally determined order of succession might have come from Nubia. So this might have come from further south. Okay, so we've got another little segment here from the Women's Studies Encyclopedia. Okay, and I've got a couple of things that I'm going to highlight here. So pharaonic royal women frequently exercise considerable power and influence, and on rare occasions reign. So we know that's true because it happened to Hatshepsut and it happened to others as well. But we have this point here. The Heiress Theory, the commonly held belief that the right to the throne in Egypt passed through the female line, and the king had to legitimise his position by marrying the royal heiress, the daughter of the previous king and his principal wife, and ordinarily his own full or half-sister, dates to the 19th century. So this is the 1800s. Donald Redford's writing a lot later, but we're going to attribute it to Donald Redford anyway. Okay, we're going to attribute it to Donald Redford anyway. So that's really what the Heiress Theory is that the king is legitimising his reign by marrying the royal heiress, okay, which usually was his half or full sister, but not always, not always. So flipping forward, The Women's Studies Encyclopedia says it's founded on incorrect assumptions about Egyptian society. And it goes forward to say that Robbins has mounted a persuasive case against the evidence for the theory. Its correctness should no longer be assumed. Okay, and this is Gay Robbins here. All right, so she's the person, whenever we put forward an argument about the Heiress theory, we have to counter it with an argument against by using Robbins. So here's what Robbins says. So Robbins says that she suggests there's a marked tendency, even in the 18th dynasty, for kings to marry royal family members, though they were not always a king's daughter. Okay, and she says that kingship at least was intended to belong to a dynastic family, arguing that there was a preference where possible for dynastic purity. So she's sort of saying that yes, there is a tendency to want to keep the kingship within that royal family and to maintain dynastic purity. Okay, but the old heiress theory, which stated that the rule was passed through the female line, compelling the crown prince to marry his heiress, is now discredited. Okay, so that heiress princess theory where you had to marry the heiress sister to continue that line, we've sort of gone past that. Okay, so that's an outline of what the heiress theory is and how we put forward arguments for it and against it. And this last part here is from Joyce Tildesley. Okay, so we can use Tildesley and Robbins to counter Robbins to counter Redford's argument about the heiress theory, because we can't put forward without the other. Okay.